When you think of a lemon, you probably picture something simple, a bright yellow fruit sitting in a basket on your kitchen counter. It's ordinary, familiar, even comforting. Many of my patients tell me they keep lemons at home without really thinking about it. They slice them into water, squeeze them onto fish, or add them to salads. And yet, this little fruit carries a power that is far from ordinary. Lemons are packed with vitamin C, flavonoids, and citric acid. They can help boost immunity, support collagen in the skin, and even act as a natural cleanser for the digestive tract. For seniors who may be more prone to infections, slower digestion, or stiff joints, lemons can be a refreshing ally. But here's where things get interesting. The very same compounds that make lemon helpful can also create problems when they meet the wrong partners in your meals. It's a bit like electricity. In the right place, electricity lights your home and keeps you warm. But if a wire is crossed in the wrong way, it can spark and cause damage. The same is true of lemon. Paired wisely, it becomes a source of healing. Paired carelessly, it can set the stage for bloating, fatigue, kidney stones, or blood sugar spikes. I remember a man named Charles, a retired school principal, who once told me proudly that he drank lemon water with everything. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, lemon was always at his side. He thought he was doing himself a favor, but after months of strange digestive problems and unexpected fatigue, he came to see me. It wasn't the lemon itself that was the problem. It was how he was mixing it with other foods. Once we adjusted his routine, his discomfort faded. That's the heart of this conversation. Lemons are not villains, and they are not miracle cures. They are powerful tools, and like any tool, they work best when handled wisely. Let's begin with one of the most common mistakes, mixing lemon with milk or dairy products. On paper, it sounds fine. Milk is rich in calcium and protein, and lemon is refreshing. But inside your stomach, something very different happens. The citric acid in lemon reacts with the proteins in dairy, causing them to curdle. If you've ever made homemade cheese or watched milk turn sour, you've seen this process. Now, imagine it happening inside your gut. For younger people with strong digestive systems, the body may manage to process the mixture, though it won't feel very comfortable. But as we age, our bodies produce less stomach acid and fewer digestive enzymes. That means food lingers longer, breaks down more slowly, and can cause heaviness or gas. When dairy and lemon curdle together inside the stomach, it's like throwing a wrench into the gears of a machine that's already moving slower. The result is discomfort, bloating, and sometimes diarrhea. I had a patient named Margaret, a retired nurse in her early 70s, who developed a nightly habit of drinking warm milk with a squeeze of lemon. She believed it was cleansing her body, but she often woke up queasy, her stomach heavy, as if she had swallowed a stone. It wasn't until we looked closely at her diet that we discovered the problem. When she replaced the lemon with chamomile, her discomfort disappeared within a week. Science has confirmed what Margaret felt in her gut. A study published in Food Chemistry demonstrated how citric acid alters milk proteins, changing their structure in a way that makes them more difficult to digest. Another report in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted that older adults who already absorb calcium less efficiently can see even poorer results when acidic compounds are introduced with dairy. The takeaway is simple. Enjoy lemon. Enjoy dairy, but not together. If you love lemon water, drink it at least an hour after having milk, cheese, or yogurt. That way, your digestive system isn't forced into a battle it cannot win. Now, let's talk about something sweet, something many of us struggle to give up: sugar. We all know refined sugar isn't great for health, but when combined with lemon, it can create a particularly sneaky problem for older adults. Here's why. Normally, when you eat sugar, your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, which acts like a key, opening doors in your cells so the sugar can move inside and be used for energy. But citric acid, the same acid that makes lemons taste tart, can interfere with this process. Instead of the key fitting smoothly, the lock gets jammed. Insulin doesn't work as effectively, sugar lingers in the blood, and blood sugar spikes higher and stays there longer than it should. Later, the crash comes: dizziness, fatigue, even irritability. This is especially concerning for seniors since insulin resistance naturally increases with age. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 4 adults over 65 has type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. And for those individuals, mixing lemon with sugary pastries, cakes, or even homemade lemonade can be like pouring fuel onto a fire. A study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that acidic foods can reduce insulin sensitivity by up to 20% when paired with refined carbohydrates. That's enough to leave someone feeling weak, foggy, or strangely hungry again an hour later. I remember Frank, a retired mechanic in his late 60s, who loved making his own lemonade every afternoon. 2 lemons, 2 heaping spoons of sugar, and a tall glass of cold water. He believed it was his healthy alternative to soda, but every afternoon, without fail, he felt exhausted and struggled to stay awake. His doctor checked his glucose levels. They were all over the place. When Frank cut out the sugar and stuck to lemon water on its own, his afternoons changed completely. He told me, "I never thought 2 spoons of sugar could make me feel so sick." The lesson? Lemon can be a refreshing companion, but when it dances with refined sugar, it becomes a trap. If you love a sweet touch, try pairing lemon with berries or a drizzle of raw honey instead. Your body will thank you. There is another combination that many people overlook: lemon with oxalate-rich foods like spinach, beets, and peanuts. These foods on their own are very healthy. Spinach provides iron, beets support blood circulation, and peanuts give plant-based protein. But oxalates inside these foods have a tricky side. When they meet lemon's citric acid, they can bind together and form crystals. Over time, those crystals may grow into kidney stones. And let me tell you, kidney stones are not just painful, they are unforgettable. Patients often describe the pain as worse than childbirth, a stabbing agony that comes in waves. Seniors are especially at risk because kidney function naturally slows with age, making it harder to flush oxalates out of the body. The National Kidney Foundation reports that adults over 60 are significantly more prone to kidney stones than younger adults. A study in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that diets high in both oxalates and acids significantly increase the rate of calcium oxalate stones in people over 55. I recall Linda, a retired teacher, who believed her daily beet juice with lemon was detoxifying her liver. Instead, it was quietly feeding the formation of stones. After 2 hospital visits for severe back pain, she discovered the truth. Once she removed beets from her lemon juice routine, the stones stopped forming. This doesn't mean you need to eliminate spinach or beets forever. It simply means don't pair them directly with lemon. Enjoy spinach with olive oil or vinegar, have your beets on their own, and keep your lemon for another meal. And always drink plenty of water to help your kidneys flush out oxalates. For seniors who have already had kidney stones, this small adjustment can save months of suffering. After hearing about what to avoid, let's focus on something positive. One of the safest and most healing combinations you can enjoy: lemon with raw honey. Notice I say raw honey, not the processed kind that comes in plastic bottles. Raw honey is rich in natural enzymes, antioxidants, and antibacterial compounds. When mixed with warm, not boiling water and fresh lemon, it creates a drink that is both soothing and restorative. Seniors who begin their mornings with this ritual often notice improvements in digestion, energy, and even immunity. Why does it work so well? As we age, the stomach produces less acid, making it harder to break down food. Lemon's mild acidity helps gently kickstart digestion, while honey coats the stomach lining, reducing irritation and easing discomfort. Together, they act like a gentle massage for the digestive system. And the benefits don't stop there. A 2018 study in Frontiers in Pharmacology found that the polyphenols in raw honey enhance immune function and fight harmful bacteria. Combined with lemon's vitamin C, this pairing becomes a natural shield against seasonal infections. I think of Joe, a retired carpenter in his early 70s who began his day with lemon and honey tea. He swore it cleared his throat, calmed his stomach, and gave him steady energy for his morning walks. He told me it was the one change in his routine that made him feel 10 years younger. The recipe is simple: half a lemon squeezed into a mug, a teaspoon of raw honey, and warm water. Just make sure the water isn't too hot, or you'll destroy the honey's beneficial enzymes. Think of it as starting your day with comfort in a cup, a small act of kindness you give to yourself before the world rushes in. If there is one mixture I often describe as liquid gold for seniors, it is the combination of lemon, turmeric, and just a pinch of black pepper. Turmeric has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, especially in India, where it was prized not just as a spice, but as a healer. Its active compound, curcumin, is a remarkable anti-inflammatory agent. But here's the challenge. Curcumin by itself is poorly absorbed by the body. It's as if you had a chest full of treasure, but no way to open the lock. Lemon's natural acidity helps unlock some of this potential, making the body more receptive to curcumin. Add in black pepper, which contains piperine, and suddenly absorption increases by nearly 2,000%. Imagine that. The chest not only opens but overflows with benefits. For seniors struggling with stiffness, aching joints, or inflammation-related fatigue, this trio can be transformative. I once spoke with Eleanor, a retired piano teacher who had almost given up playing because her fingers were too stiff in the mornings. After starting a daily ritual of warm water with lemon, turmeric, and a tiny pinch of pepper, she found within a month that her fingers were looser, her mornings brighter. Studies support her experience. Research published in the Journal of Medicinal Food highlights curcumin's role in reducing systemic inflammation, a key driver of arthritis, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. Another study in phytotherapy research found turmeric effective in easing knee pain as much as some over-the-counter pain relievers. With lemon boosting its bioavailability, the benefits multiply. If you want to try this at home, start gently. Warm water, half a lemon, a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, and the tiniest pinch of black pepper. Stir well and sip slowly. Over time, it may not just reduce stiffness, but give you back the small joys. Gardening, playing with grandchildren, or even something as simple as climbing stairs without wincing. Another partner that turns lemon into something extraordinary is ginger. Ginger has been treasured across cultures. The Chinese used it to warm the body, the Greeks used it in tonics, and even sailors relied on it to settle their stomachs on rough seas. For seniors, ginger's power lies in its ability to improve circulation and digestion. It contains natural compounds called gingerols and shogaols, which gently dilate blood vessels and stimulate blood flow. Combine that with lemon's vitamin C and acidity, and you have a tonic that warms from the inside out. Take Mr. Harris, a retired bus driver in his late 60s. His complaint was simple but frustrating. "Doctor, my hands and feet are always ice cold." Even in mild weather, he felt chilled, which made daily tasks uncomfortable. He began drinking lemon ginger tea each afternoon, made by steeping fresh slices of ginger in hot water, then adding lemon. Within weeks, his circulation improved, and he noticed less stiffness in his knees as well. Science explains why. A study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology showed ginger improved gastric emptying, helping food move more smoothly through the digestive tract and reducing bloating. Another study in evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine demonstrated ginger's ability to reduce arthritis pain when used regularly. For seniors who often feel cold or heavy after meals, lemon with ginger offers comfort on both fronts. Add a teaspoon of raw honey, and you combine 3 natural allies into one healing cup. It's a small ritual that can transform afternoons from sluggish to lively. One thing I stress to my patients is that when you drink lemon is just as important as what you mix it with. Many seniors complain of bloating, indigestion, or that uncomfortable heaviness that lingers after meals. Lemon can either help or worsen those symptoms, depending on timing. Drinking lemon water before meals, for instance, gently stimulates the stomach to produce acid and digestive enzymes. It's like warming up the engine before driving. Everything runs more smoothly. But drinking it immediately after a dairy-heavy breakfast or a sugary dessert can actually intensify discomfort because the acidity interferes with digestion already in progress. Emily, a retired nurse in her 70s, had a habit of drinking lemon water after dinner, thinking it would clean her system. Instead, she spent her evenings bloated and restless. Once she switched to drinking it 30 minutes before her meals instead, the change was remarkable. no bloating, better appetite control, and even a steadier mood. Science helps us understand this. As stomach acid naturally decreases with age, seniors benefit from a gentle boost before meals. But piling acidity onto an already full stomach is like throwing fuel onto a fire that's already burning. It doesn't help. It overwhelms. So here's a practical tip. If you love lemon water, enjoy it in the morning on an empty stomach or half an hour before lunch and dinner. That way, lemon becomes a supportive partner, not an uninvited guest. Timing, just like in music, makes all the difference in how the body plays its daily symphony. Aging is often described as a gradual narrowing of the body's margin for error. In youth, the body can tolerate late nights, heavy meals, and poor food combinations, bouncing back quickly. But as the years go by, the same habits take a heavier toll. Lemon is a perfect example of how small choices matter more with age. Used wisely, it magnifies wellness, improving immunity, aiding digestion, soothing inflammation. Used carelessly, it magnifies problems, curdling dairy in the stomach, spiking blood sugar with sugar, or binding with oxalates to form stones. I like to use the metaphor of a garden. In youth, the soil is rich and forgiving. You can throw in seeds haphazardly and still see plants grow. In later life, the soil becomes thinner, more delicate. You need to water carefully, choose seeds thoughtfully, and tend the ground with patience. Lemon is like a fertilizer. In the right amount, with the right combination, it makes the garden flourish. In the wrong conditions, it burns the roots. Scientific studies support this perspective. For example, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown how acidity can interfere with calcium absorption. Meanwhile, research on insulin resistance highlights how food pairings can change glucose levels significantly, especially in older adults. These findings remind us that wellness is not just about what we eat, but how we eat it and what we combine. For seniors, learning to make these small adjustments is not about restriction, it's about empowerment. It's about shaping aging in a way that feels lighter, freer, and healthier. At the end of the day, health is not built on grand gestures. It's built on rituals, small, steady habits that become second nature. Lemon can easily become one of those rituals if used wisely. Imagine starting the morning with a warm cup of lemon water and raw honey, preparing your digestion and soothing your throat. Then, perhaps mid-morning, a turmeric lemon shot with a sprinkle of black pepper to keep inflammation in check. And in the afternoon, a lemon ginger tea to warm the body and settle the stomach. None of these require expensive supplements or complicated recipes. They are simple, natural, and affordable. But their power lies in repetition. Maria, a retired school teacher, once told me she thought of these rituals as anchors in her day. They gave her structure, a rhythm that made her feel cared for. She said, "It's not just the lemon itself, doctor. It's the act of preparing it, of choosing to do something kind for myself." That, I believe, is the secret. Health is not just about biology, it's also about psychology. When seniors embrace lemon as part of a gentle daily ritual, it becomes more than a fruit. It becomes a reminder of self-respect. And over time, these rituals don't just improve digestion, immunity, or circulation. They improve the very quality of life, adding steadiness, warmth, and confidence to each day. As we reach the end of this journey through the world of lemons, it's worth pausing to reflect on the bigger picture. You've heard about the dangers of combining lemon with dairy, sugar, and oxalates. You've seen how those innocent pairings can quietly disrupt digestion, spike blood sugar, or even trigger kidney stones. You've also discovered the beauty of safer, nourishing combinations, lemon with raw honey, turmeric, or ginger, and how, when timed wisely, they can soothe inflammation, warm the body, and boost immunity. But the lesson here is about more than lemons. It's about the way small daily choices add up to shape our experience of aging. Think about it. Most of us spend our younger years believing we are invincible. We eat what we want, stay up late, skip meals, and trust our bodies to recover, and often they do. But as we enter our 50s, 60s, and beyond, the margin for error shrinks. Our systems, while still strong, are less forgiving. Digestion slows, circulation stiffens, and blood sugar control weakens. That doesn't mean the story is over, far from it. It means the story changes and we are invited to play a different role, not reckless experimenters, but wise caretakers. Take the example of dairy. Many seniors have eaten yogurt or cheese their whole lives without issue. But as the years go on, the combination with lemon starts to feel wrong. That isn't failure, it's adaptation. The body is saying, what once worked no longer serves me, or think of sugar. A sweet lemonade in your 30s might have been harmless, but in your 60s, when insulin resistance creeps in, it suddenly becomes a burden. That's not punishment. It's simply your body's way of saying, I need more care now. These are not setbacks. They are reminders that life changes and that our health practices must change with it. But here's the hopeful part. Just as some combinations weaken the body, others strengthen it. Lemon with raw honey is more than a drink. It's a way of nurturing digestion and immunity every morning. Lemon with turmeric and black pepper is more than a golden tonic. It's a way of calming inflammation that has been building for decades. Lemon with ginger is more than a warm beverage. It's a way of stimulating blood flow and reclaiming comfort in hands, feet, and joints. These are not miracle cures. They are gentle, faithful allies. And when woven into daily rituals, their effects grow over time like compound interest in a bank account. Small deposits made consistently result in wealth, not financial wealth, but the wealth of health, energy, and comfort. Science supports what tradition has long known. Small habits matter. Studies show that mindful food combinations improve nutrient absorption, reduce inflammation, and stabilize energy levels. But beyond the science, there is something deeply human in creating rituals. It's not just biology, it's psychology, identity, and even spirituality. When you pause to cut a lemon, warm some water, and sip slowly, you are saying to yourself, I matter, my health matters, I am worth this time. That affirmation, repeated day after day, builds resilience not only in the body but also in the spirit. And let me tell you this, it is never too late to begin. I have seen people in their 80s transform their daily comfort with the simplest of changes, a cup of warm lemon water before breakfast instead of after, swapping out sugary lemonade for lemon honey tea, avoiding spinach lemon salads and choosing olive oil instead. These are not complicated prescriptions. They are gentle shifts, accessible to anyone, anywhere. And yet the results ripple outward, lighter digestion, steadier energy, fewer aches, deeper sleep. So the next time you reach for a lemon, pause for a moment. Remember that you hold more than a fruit in your hand. You hold a tool, a partner, a reminder that health is not about grand gestures, but about the steady rhythm of care. Use it wisely, pair it with love, not carelessness, and let it remind you every day that you are capable of writing a healthier, happier story for the years ahead. Because in the end, aging well is not about avoiding lemons. It is about learning how to use them to bring light, balance, and renewal into your life. And that, I believe, is a secret worth carrying with you, not just today, but for all the days to come.